All right, this is the brand new trailer. It's a Load Right 5-star. She's rated for 3,100 pounds. Yes, I know it's a little bit more than I need, but traveling far, traveling long, so wanted something a little more heavy duty. So this is how we're gonna roll. Let's go get the boat. We're at the 20-hour mark and we got to pull it out for service, so we're going to check everything, make sure everything's working good, and then while we have it on the trailer, we're going to take it somewhere. So that's always been the goal. We've been waiting for this. Now we got it, so we're going to go put the boat on it, see how she fits, get everything right, set the bunks, the neck, push it back, probably has to go back a little bit, but adjust everything so the boat just fits on there and lays on there nice and perfect and comfortable, and we'll be able to go anywhere we want with this boat. So that's the goal. Down to the marina we go. Okay, so I've never had this boat on this trailer, so we're gonna have to make some adjustments. So one of the first things I did was I loosened up this whole piece of the trailer. So it was way up here originally, and now I've got it as low as it can go. I can invert this, but I don't think I need to do that. But having it at the lowest setting allows me to bring the boat on. I can pull the boat out and then adjust accordingly. I don't want to be too high because then I'm crashing into all this metal. You definitely don't want that. I've already had that happen to this boat. We don't want to do that again. So yeah. So settings are important. We'll be obviously setting up. Settings are important. So we obviously have to set this right, and then we will have to set up these bunks too. Okay, and they're very simple. It's just ratchets. You've got bolts, 2 bolts, loosen them up and they slide back and forth, and then this third bolt right here, this third bolt here, you loosen up and that allows this to pivot and adjust to the actual boat. I'm going to loosen those as well at all 4 points. That way I'll make them loose so when the boat's weight sits down on the bunks, they'll actually level and sit on it flat. You don't want to go on, you don't want to put it on there with them super tight like that, because then they're sitting up on the edges and that's not good. That's not how it's designed to go on. So loosen up those 4 bolts. I drop the neck down as low as I can, back it in, put it on, and adjust accordingly. So we'll get to that part after I get the boat on the trailer. Okay. All right, so you can hear that alarm. That's the change the oil alarm, because we are at 20 hours. Exactly 20 and 1/2 hour. So we need to take this boat out, change some oil. So we're just going to take it right over the trailer. You saw it in the background just now. It's just sitting over there waiting. So we're going to get this boat on the trailer for the first time, at least on its new trailer. Get her serviced and 80 more hours of having fun in the sun. So I'm going to show you all that it takes. Changing out the lower unit, engine oil, filter, put it right back in the water, and then reset that alarm so we don't have to listen to that anymore. So service day, finally here. Okay, we're on here good and snug. Now we're going to ease her up out of the water. First time she's been out of the water since I launched it, or I did the launch video. As you can see, she gets a little dirty. We're gonna clean all that up, so always a good opportunity, take an opportunity to clean everything up when you get it out of the water. So it's part of the service. We lost a cleat here. We had a crazy high tide. I have to repair that. That's the only thing that I've had to really do. So everything on here looks good. I'm gonna secure the safety chain, and we're gonna get her serviced. Okay, so here you have the boat on the trailer. Now I have to admit, it was set up pretty darn close. My bunks, they're looking perfect, right where I want them to be. This one's a little too close to the transducer, but it's not pushing on it at all. So we're good. The only adjustment I have to make is slide this back about a foot. So I'm pretty happy with how it sits on the trailer right out of the gate. Not a lot of adjustments to do. So we're gonna go ahead, power wash this while we have it out. We're gonna get her all cleaned up and get her ready for service. Okay, so as you can see, much cleaner now, as we're able to get in there with the power washer and really get things nice and clean like when we first put it in. So transducer looks a lot better. We were able to get underneath that too and get it clean. So pretty much got the boat all cleaned up. The rub rail, I know white is a high maintenance color for where I keep my boat, but we were able to clean that up pretty good. I knew it was going to get a little bit beat up and look used, but that's okay because the boat gets used. So the lower unit oil, we'll drain and replace the lower unit oil. And on these Suzukis, we have the drain plug for the engine oil right here. So we will drain and replace the engine oil as well and the filter. And we'll get to that part when I get the part, when I get all the supplies that I need. So just waiting for them to open tomorrow. Go pick all that up, and then we'll get to that part. And then she's just ready to go right back in the water, and we could use it and do whatever we want. All that beginning break-in procedure stuff is pretty much complete. I know they say 10 hours is the break-in period, but really the first 20, because you have to really watch how you use the motor, and you want to make sure it gets out at 20 hours so you can clean it. I mean, the alarm went right off at 20.5 hours, and you know, it's telling you, hey, got to take the oil out, put it in, follow the maintenance procedures. Again, you got to take care of your engines if you want them to take care of you. And, you know, you can't play around. These things aren't cheap and they're not easy to replace. So, got to follow your maintenance schedules. So, what do we need to do that? So, very simple, not a lot of very expensive things to buy. So, we have our 1 gallon of 10W40 engine oil designed for our Suzuki engine. We have the SE90 gear oil and the pump that goes with it. This is the pump that they give me to pump this new oil into the gear lube, and I'll show you what happens and how we do that as we get to that section of the service. Got my oil filter, and this is very important and it goes overlooked often, are the crush washers. You have to replace your crush washers. Okay, this big silver one here, that's for the plug drain on the side of the engine, and these two are for the lower unit, the drain and the vent. So you replace your old washers with these new crush washers every single time you service. They're designed to be used only one time, and they do the job. So first things first, we're going to heat up this oil by running the engine. Okay, so I couldn't find my ears to run it on that, so I kind of had to get a little inventive. So I took a garbage can, had to fill it pretty much almost to the top. I lowered the motor far down enough into it so it'll pull water. So what I'm going to do is leave this water running so it constantly stays full as it pumps it out through the engine, keeping it cool enough to get this oil hot so we could drain it out. That's going to be step one. So we're going to start the motor, let it run for a little while, get it nice and warm, and then we'll be able to pull out the engine oil. Okay, as you can see, we're pumping water really nice. I know it's not going to overheat, keep my water pump good. I don't want to have to replace that by damaging it or running it dry. So we're going to let this run, get this nice and hot, and then we'll be able to take all the oil out. So we'll do this for the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to take the engine oil out. Okay, I hope you can see that on the camera. It is a bright sunny day out here, but this is pretty much what my screen's telling me and lets me know that it's time to change the oil. Got a flashing change oil sign right up here with an audible alarm. I can silence it, but it'll still flash, and it'll do that till I reset it, and I'll show you how to do that when I get to that point. But right now, we just want to make sure that we get the temperature nice and hot. Okay, and once we get that nice and hot, we'll know we can pull the oil out, everything loosens up, and we'll be able to have a nice better drain out of our oil. So, steps we take to keep things running. Alright, so first step, obviously after warming up our engine oils, we're going to take off the cowling. So it says it right on the handles, you put a pull, rotate, up, up, and she comes right off. I've got my oil pan here on the ground, and I got a catch bucket. I'm going to start with the catch bucket and then slide the oil pan in later, because I know that the oil is going to want to shoot out a pretty good distance. So we're going to loosen this up. It's an Allen key. Okay, we'll break that like so. Just gonna leave that over there for now. And the oil looks good. It looks like it should at 20 hours. We're not concerned. I don't think there's no color, milky color to it. We definitely don't have any water in our oil, and the engine is running well. So it's looking good. So we pretty much have all of our oil drained out. We're going to pull this crush washer out. Okay. No need to hold that in my hand. So we pull out this crush washer. You're going to discard this, because they're only good for one use. Okay, after you've taken that nut off, it will not seal as good as a new crush washer. So maintenance recommends that you replace it with the crush washer, a new crush washer. We'll replace it with our new washer. Here's our plug. Our new washer goes on like so. Throughout the old one, and we'll just simply put this right back in. tighten that back up. We'll clean up the residual oil, and I'll hit this with something a little better when I'm all done. Okay, so take out our oil filter. It's located right here at the back of the outboard, just to give you a perspective of where that is. As you can see, this is the back of the outboard. It's located on this corner, and to get that out, you're going to need to use a wrench like this. It's a ratcheted wrench style. I use it on my 300, and it fits on this one as well. So now I'm going to watch here. I have rags down here to catch any residual oil that comes out. Don't want to get oil down here in the cowlings, because then it just lives down in there behind it. And to really clean it up right, you have to take all of this apart, and I do not want to do that. So pretty much, and there goes a little bit of it. Okay, and I'll take my time with this because I don't want to make a mess. All right, there's no need to rush. It's loose, it's gonna come right off. But what I don't want is oil down in my engine. It's very clean down there right now. Very easy to identify any oil leaks. The engine's super clean. I'm going to inspect it when I'm done for any water leaks. You know, you'll see salt building up around gaskets and bolts. I'll do a full inspection on that. And obviously oil leaking. So we get that out. And we have all this catching the oil. So we have our new oil filter, straight from the Suzuki dealer. Just like you do in your cars, prime up the gasket. Just helps for the next service down the road. And reverse. Put that right on there. Okay. Nice and tight. Okay, we'll just take this, put this back on, and we will snug it up. Not over tighten. Okay, and just like that, we have a filter back on there. And that's your end result. Okay, filter's installed. We don't have any residual oil anywhere. Nice clean install. And now pretty much the most very basic of all of the whole job is to put oil in. So actually give it a little bit of a thread around so it won't slip off on me. That's on there good. Okay, so moving on to the lower unit. Very simple. No filters to change, just 2 plugs to pull, let the oil drain out, and then we'll pump the oil back in. So first order of business, pull that bottom drain plug. Here's my bottom drain plug. Simply loosen that like so. And we have our top plug to vent. Okay, now that we've gotten those broke, okay, simply back that out. Now it'll start to trickle out until I go ahead and back this one off. Okay. You see my stream as I back out this vent one will now flow out. and we'll just let that empty out. Now that oil is looking very good. It's clean, still has a lot of life in it, but it's from the break-in, so we want to get that out, put in nice fresh oil with the engine broken in, and life goes on. But as you can see, it looks good. Everything is as expected to be, and we'll let that drain out. Okay, so going forward, putting back in the gear oil, we use Suzuki's gear oil pump system, which comes with a pump, the adapter that goes into the lower unit, and also 2 fitment adapters depending on what motor you have. So we're going to figure out which one of these the Suzuki 90 likes, and then we're going to set it all up and pump this oil back in through the bottom hole until we see oil coming out through the top hole. And that tells us that we have enough oil in our lower unit. So, and if you're using a larger, I have a quart of SAE 90 for the Suzuki engine, and we'll be putting this adapter on the bottom of the pump like so. So we'll take this adapter, this pump, put the adapter on there, like so. Okay, and now we know we'll get to the bottom of the entire quart. We'll insert, screw it in, fit it in, and we'll be all set to go. So we are just about drained out completely. And these are our 2 plugs. Okay, these are the crush washers that were on there when we removed them, so we will take these off. Okay, we have our new crush washers, and we put these on these plugs like so, and put them back in when we're all set. Right now we're just going to put these off to the side, and they'll be ready to be put back on once we have all our oil in the lower unit. But this one, I'll put the adapter on. Again, that adapter comes with the pump kit, and then basically you just screw that on. All right, so basically at this point we're just gonna, now that we're all hooked up, we're gonna prime our pump and pump this oil into our lower unit. Just set the camera back a little further so you can see exactly how we do. Okay. And we'll just pump all this oil until we have it coming out this hole, and we'll know we're full. We want no air bubbles. We want just a straight river of oil coming down. There it goes. Now we still have some bubbles coming, so we'll keep pumping until those bubbles go away. There we go. That's a steady stream. We are full. Okay? And it's all draining down to our pan. We're not letting it get on the ground, keeping everything nice and clean. And now we'll just put our crush washer on our plug. Put that right back in. All right. And that's about it, guys. that's all it takes to replace your lower unit oil. Just again, put that one back in first, pull your bottom plug, put that one in, tighten them up, snug them up, and you're good to go. So now lastly, I'm going to do an inspection of the motor, just an overall look at the engine. Make sure everything looks clean, looks sealed, nothing's leaking. You want to give it a good once over. I mean, you have it on the trailer, you owe it to yourself to just get in and look at everything. Okay, you want to make sure your bolts look good and there's no corrosion. You don't want to see any salt buildup where the gaskets meet up with different parts of the engine. Make sure your connections still look like that, nice and clean. Give it a spray of lube to keep it able to fight off the corrosion. This boat lives in salt water. I do keep it in a slip, so I think next year it might live on the trailer. I haven't decided yet, just to keep it cleaner, but it does get, as you can see, just from sitting here for the last few days, it is just filled with stuff from the trees. I definitely have to get a cover made. I'm working on a rail system right now with a company that I am going to do business with. They're going to make a rail for here and a seat back for there, so we are going to go ahead and add that to it. As you can see, I did do the EVA floor. All right, love how it came out, love how it feels. It makes using the boat so much better. I went with the white in laser etched instead of the black like on the Sailfish. Love how it came out, but super happy with it. And I love my paracord wrap steering wheel. That was done by Paracord and Whatnot. I believe I did a short on that, but I love it. It's it just looks cool. It's a great custom touch, and it feels better than the metal wheel does. So Jordan Fraser, thank you for that. Paracord and Whatnot out of Middleburg, Florida. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous work. Everything certainly sounds great, pumping great. Just got to do the reset on the gauge, and then we are done with the service. Okay, so I had gone ahead and reset the oil light. Basically, to do that with my gauge on, you take the key out and you pull out the safety lanyard, okay? Very simple. You just basically put your key back in, turn and energize the engine without starting it. Without putting this back on, you pull out on this 3 times. 1. I'll bring my camera down so you can see better. So you'll pull on this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You'll hear a beep, oil light goes away, and you're back in service. And you're all set. Hey, so that's all I'm going to have for you on this video. Quick 20-hour service, a couple of new features that I went over on the boat with the floor, the paracord wrap wheel, the chip, and getting the 20-hour service done. So, ready to continue on with summer. No worries now. We got all of that beginning of the motor stuff done. Not hard, again, like I said, you know, less than $100 for all the stuff I needed. About an hour of my time to, you know, do the job start to finish. I'm going to thank you guys for watching once again. Thank you to the 500 subscribers that have subscribed. We are over the 500 mark. I never thought I'd get this far, this fast, but that's all because of you guys watching and, you know, liking the videos and commenting. It's been a lot of fun. Again, I started this less than a year ago and I didn't think it would turn into this, but I'm having a ball doing it. As long as you guys like the videos, I'll keep making them, and I keep having fun making them. So we're gonna get on this boat, do a lot more cool stuff, and show you guys exactly why I did all that work and what we're gonna do to enjoy this boat going forward. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.